gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
But first, a manhunt is underway after shots were fired during a home invasion. I'm Savannah Louie. Atlanta police now looking for the person responsible as a man recovers at the hospital. We have Atlanta News' first Dawn Shipman, who is along Roselle Drive in southeast Atlanta following the search for the suspect.
I talked with a woman who showed up here in great distress. She was begging officers for information. There were a ton of officers here, including the crime scene investigation unit. The call coming in shortly after 8 o'clock this morning, and here's what we've learned from Atlanta police. They say their preliminary investigation indicates that the victim was in his bed when a man described as tall, thin, with long dreadlocks broke into the home.
Tall, thin, with long dreadlocks. I mean, the dreads gave it away. I didn't know if they were going to be a little more descriptive, but thanks, I guess. You know, this is a scary thing for your home to be invaded and your personal space, your belongings being put in jeopardy. But this is something that in the community, people are facing on an everyday basis. And, you know, it's something that needs to be taken care of. But because of the defund the police movement, the criminal justice reform movement, and these notions that we can just do it ourselves and we can police our own and all this kind of stuff, it's made it more difficult for officers to do their jobs. And when you end up defending yourself from something like this, and, you know, thankfully they're in Atlanta, I haven't personally seen a situation where you're defending your home and you're the one who's being arrested. But we do have other Democrat cities, Democrat-run states where that does happen. You know, in these types of cases, in Georgia, you can defend yourself, but in many places you can't. So, it's very scary, especially when you tie the hands of officers, law enforcement, you tie the hands of the law-abiding citizen.
And shot the victim. Shortly after we arrived, we talked with Sandra Thomas. She showed up again, asking officers for help, wanting to know what was happening. Here's what she said.
She said, "Mama, Toot been shot." That's his nickname. His name was DeMarcus. I said, "Been shot?" She said, "Yeah, they're going to carry him to the hospital."
And now you talked to police, and police...
They didn't give me no information no more, and I can't go in the house.
That shooting victim was rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital. Atlanta police say that the suspect fled the scene. In southeast Atlanta, Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jaquan Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Columbus police now searching for this teenager, 19-year-old Jaquan Curry, accused of opening fire in front of a Waffle House near Ohio State's campus early Monday morning.
What the heck? A shootout at a Waffle House? How could it be? You know, this is something that I've covered on my channel many times. The recklessness, the brazenness of these guys, these modern day super teen gremlins on demon time to ruin a nice night out at the Waffle House is disgusting. Okay? You got the All-Star Special. You have the hash browns. You've got blueberry waffles, and you're gonna ruin all of that because you can't control your emotions. I mean, it's a very sickening thing, but this is the current state we are at in the community, and nobody's talking about it. Like, people are just acting like it's just gonna go away, and it's not, man. We've got too many crazy actors who are just lashing out without any type of recourse and without any type of pushback from the community. In many cases, you have justification of these actions.
Killing 38-year-old Ronald Diggs.
He was an all-around good guy.
Comedian Flame Monroe remembering his friend Ronald, known as Ry'Yon Tajoure in the pageant world. He was crowned king in a national competition last year. Flame hosted the pageant when Diggs was crowned.
He was so proud to be king. It made your heart feel with joy because he was so happy that he was representing this pageant. He was a good egg.
2 days before losing his life, Diggs posting to his public Facebook page, writing, "This week has been good to me. Time to dance."
Wow. So as you guys can see, this is a homosexual man, and you would think that the LGBT community or community would be screaming and coming out in droves, but they don't seem to care because the narrative doesn't fit. If a straight white male had shot this guy, it would be major news headlines. They would have said he was a MAGA supporting white supremacist, but all these narratives that the media is trying to paint, they really do have to stretch to make it happen and have to put out a tremendous amount of propaganda to act like, you know, there's something that there's not, because these things just don't happen. And in most of these cases, it's just a super teen gremlin on demon time who is acting out these violent acts, all because he got his feelings hurt.
It is mind-boggling that this happens to him. It really is. It's so sad.
Friends tell us the Atlanta man was in Columbus over the weekend judging a pageant competition in the short north.
Wow.
Just hours after that show, Diggs was at the Waffle House with friends when police say a fight involving up to 20 people broke out in the restaurant and spilled out into the streets.
And that is a huge mistake too, guys. In high school, watching a fight was cool because you're not worried about being shot and somebody shooting into the crowd, because, you know, you're not expecting people to have guns. But in the real world, and fights break out, you need to get as far away as possible. I know you want to watch so bad and you want to pull out your phone and film it, but you will become a casualty. And these super gremlins shoot brazenly into crowds, not aiming, not hitting the target that they intended. They just want to be known for busting their gun. That's what it's called. They want to be a known shooter. They want to be known for catching a body, and they'll claim the body in the hood, and there won't be any substantial evidence or any witnesses who are willing to come out against them, because catching a body in the community, unfortunately, it's sad to say, but there's some bragging rights that come with it. And you know, there's a feeling of invincibility when you have caught a body and the people around you have not.
Shots were fired, and Diggs was hit in the chest.
And it was the way that it happened, Steve, because sometimes you expect death, but then sometimes when it comes unexpectedly like this, it hits you so hard you don't know how to handle it.
Now at 6, remembering Ronald Diggs, the 38-year-old entertainer was well known across the country as King Ry'Yon. His friends are remembering him tonight for his kindness and that infectious smile. Diggs was killed after a fight broke out at a Waffle House near Ohio State's campus. Columbus police say that fight spilled outside and someone shot Diggs in the chest early Monday morning. Tonight, the search for the 19-year-old accused of killing him is continuing. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Andrew Kinsey.
And I'm Angela Ann. Yolanda is off this week. Now, we are learning more tonight about the arrest warrant, and 10 TV's Lacey Crisp joins us live now from downtown Columbus. Lacey, what have you learned?
Well, according to court documents, Columbus police have filed murder charges against 19-year-old Jaquan Curry. Now, according to a 911 caller, about 20 to 30 people were fighting outside when she heard a gunshot. Now, according to court documents, witnesses told police that the fight started inside the Waffle House around 2:30 Monday morning and that the fight continued outside. Police say Ronald Diggs was shot in the chest and killed. The witnesses identified 19-year-old Jaquan Curry, known as J. Cole, as the shooter.
Dang, so this man calling himself J. Cole, that's crazy. Oh, man. Typical for a night out in the community. And too many instances like this have happened. And a lot of times they can escalate into mass shootings and they're counted in the data. So you're wondering why black men are overrepresented in this category, and that's the reason.
A warrant has been filed for Curry, who is from the east side of Columbus.
One of them got hit, one of them got punched, and then the other one was walking up asking what happened with the other one, and then they get shot.
Damn.
And Curry has not been taken into custody yet. Reporting live, Lacey Crisp, 10 TV News.
Lacey, thank you. Tonight we are learning much.
Dang, so they ain't even brought him into custody yet. Woo! I mean, that means he can do more harm. Hopefully he turns himself in, but a lot of times these dudes are just gonna skedaddle.
More about who Ronald Diggs was. Yeah, tonight, this is how friends are remembering Ronald Diggs.
He was a beloved entertainer, full of energy, they say, with a passion for dancing, which earned him countless crowns and titles across the country. We know Diggs was visiting Columbus for a show in the short north.
Yeah, tonight, the friend who got him here in Columbus explains how he's dealing with his death and the void it now leaves.
His moves were his signature.
He was happy and it was doing something he loved, and that was dancing.
The stage, his throne.
Truly just a beacon of hope and light, and one of the kindest people you would meet and could just light up a room.
And the question is, you know, you see some friends and potential family talking about him, but where's the LGBT community as a whole? Like, why are they not in the streets? Right? Why is this not major news? Why is this not a major headline? It's because this is not sexy for the leftist, progressive, radicals, whatever you want to call them. It's not a headline that they can get behind and say, all right, we can demonize straight white men. That's really what it is, right? That's really what it is. They have no problem demonizing straight white men, but when it comes to these super gremlins who are committing these types of crimes and taking away good people, like, right? I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the lifestyle, but all in all, it appears that he had a very positive impact on the people around him. So, man, I mean, it's just another one of those things where we're sitting back like, you know, what the heck? Why don't people care as much as they would if the dynamics were changed? And you know, a lot of you guys on this channel, y'all can answer that for yourselves.
No matter where he was at.
Ronald Diggs, known by many across the country as King Ry'Yon Shugahbear Tajoure, was a legendary entertainer in the LGBTQ+ community, a community now left mourning his sudden death.
It was simply a matter of, unfortunately, the wrong place at the wrong time.
As Robbie Rickert grieves the loss of his friend, his heart is also heavy with a feeling of guilt. He was the reason Diggs and his friend Christopher Johnson were in Columbus over the weekend, supporting an event he was hosting at Axis nightclub.
He was here just to simply be an entertainer and to judge that event, and little did we know it was just going to be his last dance.
His life cut short outside of this Waffle House on High Street Monday morning by a complete stranger.
It was literally just them walking up to seeing like what is happening as the fight was already in progress.
Yeah, don't do that. When a fight breaks out, run, duck and run. Especially if it's in the community, duck and run. You don't want to be nowhere near that.
That's whenever that person went to get the gun, and that's when Ry'Yon was shot.
Diggs was pronounced dead at an area hospital. His friend Christopher Johnson physically assaulted, but released. Tonight, police are looking for Jaquan Curry. They say he was the gunman.
I have faith that our justice system will do the right thing. I hope they find this individual.
As the wheels of justice turn slowly, Diggs' friends vow to cherish the lives and hearts he touched with his turns on the stage.
I like to think I'm a forgiving person and understanding, but it's hard to even understand the why now. So someone so innocent that didn't deserve it at all.
As we mentioned, Diggs lived in Atlanta with his family. Tonight, they are working to get him back home.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school,